Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel GMB Today. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. During the latest installment of The Chase, 4 brand new players tried their luck on the ITV quiz show to try and take home an eye-watering cash prize. During the latest episode of The Chase, Bradley Walsh issued a warning to chaser Anne, the governess Hegerty, after a savage joke left him shaking his head. On Wednesday's episode, June 4, 4 brand new players took on the chaser in the hopes of winning a cash prize. Simon from Wantage, Kim originally from Leeds, Dorette from London, and Jack from Manchester joined forces in a bid to win thousands of pounds. Simon, who was in the Royal Air Force, managed to get through to the second round with £6,000, but unfortunately, Kim, a nursing student, was caught at the last minute. Meanwhile, Dorette was the third player to face Anne and had told Bradley that she liked attending the theatre in her spare time, especially smaller theatres and their productions. When she faced Anne, the governess joked, "I like small theatres, especially this one, as it means Bradley can leave quicker." The other players laughed at Anne's brutal joke, whilst Bradley tutted, "That's so unnecessary." Dorette made it to the final round and added more prize money to the pot. Jack also made it back to the final chase, with £19,000 in the total prize pot. They managed to get a respectable 17 questions right, and Anne had 2 minutes on the clock to catch them and take away their prize funds. Anne got several questions wrong, including what the state language of Ukraine was. After guessing Russian, she was told it was wrong, and that the right answer was Ukrainian, meaning that she got pushed back. She then got several other questions wrong in a nail-biting final minute. With just 1 second to go, Anne managed to catch them and took their cash prize away at the death. The big screen flashed, and there she was, Anne, the governess Hegerty, stepping out in her signature stern style, giving the camera her best withering stare. Grace meets the governess. Grace, cheerful and chirpy, greeted Anne with a bright higher and a nervous giggle. Anne responded with a tight smile. "Let's just hope your answers bloom better than your logic," she quipped coldly, prompting a ripple of oohs from the audience. Bradley raised an eyebrow. "Ouch, we're starting early today." He chuckled, already sensing Anne was in a particularly sassy mood. The round began. Grace stumbled early, missing 2 straightforward questions, visibly flustered. Anne capitalized with clinical precision. It wasn't just a defeat, it was a dismantling. As Grace returned to the bench, blushing and apologetic, Anne smirked. "That was less a chase and more a leisurely stroll. You've got the floral charm, Grace, but not the root knowledge." The audience winced at the sharp metaphor. Bradley gave a polite laugh, but you could tell something was brewing behind his smile. Round 2. Raj's turn. Next up was Raj. He was cool, calm, and statistically solid in the cash builder. But even he couldn't anticipate the heat Anne would bring. After Raj got a tough question wrong, Anne fired. "You're a data analyst? From where? The University of Wishful Thinking?" The audience gasped. Even Bradley's jaw dropped. "Wow, Anne's got the flamethrower out today," he joked, trying to soften the blow. But Anne wasn't done. "I don't need fire," she said icily. "I just watch them collapse under the weight of their own mediocrity." The joke that crossed the line, it was Cullen, the retired firefighter, who unknowingly lit the match that sparked the most controversial moment. After answering a particularly tough history question correctly, Bradley couldn't help but burst out laughing. "Cullen, you legend. Saving lives and smashing trivia. Not bad for someone who's supposedly retired." Cullen grinned, but Anne had other plans. With a chilling calm, she leaned in and delivered her line. "Well, some of us retire from saving lives. Others just retire from thinking." The studio froze. Even the audience didn't know whether to laugh, gasp, or cringe. Cullen blinked, stunned. Grace audibly whispered, "Whoa!" Raj looked away, a small wince on his face. Bradley, momentarily silent, blinked and gave a tight laugh. But then, with theatrical timing, he turned slowly to Anne, adjusted his suit, and said in a calm but cutting tone, "That's enough, Anne." The crowd murmured. But then came the words that would trend on social media before the show had even finished airing. Bradley leaned toward Anne, one eyebrow cocked, and said firmly, "Behave or leave." 3 words. That's all it took. The audience erupted in stunned oohs, half laughing, half in disbelief. Even Anne, usually stoic, blinked in surprise, her lips twitching at the corners. "Really, Bradley?" she said with a raised brow, the faintest smirk on her face. "I love a good joke," Bradley replied, "but there's a difference between roasting and flammethrowing contestants to ash. Keep it spicy, not scorched." The aftermath. From that point forward, the air was different. Anne toned down the sass, but only slightly. The rest of the show moved forward with a crackle of electricity. Contestants answered more carefully. Bradley was sharper, quicker with his jokes. And Annie? She played it cool, but her eyes never left Bradley's. The final round was a nail-biter. With Raj and Colin making it through to face Anne in the final chase, the team racked up a respectable 18 steps. Anne pursued with her usual precision, but with just 2 seconds left, she stumbled on a pop culture question, the kind Grace would have nailed. The clock ran out. Bradley leaped into the air. "They've done it. They've beaten the governess," he shouted, arms flung wide. The studio erupted. Anne pursed her lips, nodded curtly. "Well played," she said to the team, offering a hand. But just as the credits were about to roll, Bradley turned to the camera with his trademark cheeky grin and added, "Grace, Raj, Colin, you did brilliant. And Anne, thanks for behaving." He winked, and the audience howled. Social media eruption. Within minutes of the episode airing, Twitter exploded. Did Bradley just say behave or leave to Anne Hegerty? Hashtag the chase. That was the most savage and classy moment in chase history. Hashtag Bradley San. Bradley putting Anne in her place? Never thought I'd see the day. Iconic. Even Anne joined in later that night, tweeting, "Apparently I've been warned. Next time, I'll come with a softer glove. Or not. Hashtag the chase." Bradley responded with a gif of himself wagging a finger, captioned, "Behave, Anne. Just behave." Epilogue. The next morning, newspapers picked up the drama. Bradley Walsh issues 3-word warning after savage and joke became the headline across entertainment pages. Inside sources claimed there were no hard feelings. Just 2 legends of the game show world sharing the stage, the spotlight, and a mutual understanding of the fine line between fierce and too far. As for the chase, it had never been hotter. And fans? They were already begging for a rematch. Moral of the story. Even on a quiz show, words carry weight. And sometimes, the chase isn't just for the contestants. It's for keeping egos in check, perfectly in balance. And when the governess goes full savage, you better believe Bradley Walsh has 3 words ready.